Chosen one, God tested you in disguise for 3 months. You passed every single one. Listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal is something many people wait their whole lives to hear. For 3 months, I placed hidden tests along your path, and you walked through them without even realizing that I was the one watching every step. You thought those moments were ordinary struggles, random disappointments, or quiet battles inside your heart. But they were not random at all. They were sacred moments where your character, your patience, and your faith were being weighed before heaven. Stay with these words closely, because missing what comes next could cause you to overlook a blessing and breakthrough that has already begun forming around your life. The previous 3 months were never lost time. They were never setbacks, and they were never consequences of wrongdoing. I permitted circumstances to surface that stretched your tolerance, your gentleness, your truthfulness, and your staying power. You could not see me positioned behind those events, but I remained there silently watching how your soul reacted when nobody else was paying attention. You never understood that every minor choice you made was uncovering the power of the Spirit I had planted deep within you. Right now, before you move forward with listening, take a breath and speak your belief out loud. Comment, Amen. Most people assume that divine examinations arrive with lightning and obvious markers. But the majority of my examinations show up gently. They present themselves in daily living through exchanges, letdowns, waiting periods, and surprises that catch you off guard. When somebody mistreated you, and you decided not to send back hostility, that was one of those examinations. When you felt drained yet still maintained a generous spirit, that was another examination. There were seasons when you felt isolated, seasons when you questioned whether anybody genuinely recognized the labor you were investing just to continue putting one foot in front of the other. During those silent seasons, you may have assumed that your dedication went unwitnessed. However, every movement you made was observed with perfect clarity. Every offering you gave was documented, and every drop that rolled down your cheeks was measured. Nothing that unfolded across these previous 3 months slipped past my awareness. This is the reason I need you to absorb something deeply meaningful right now. The examinations were never designed to shatter you. They were designed to bring forward the power that already dwells inside your being. I already understood what you were built for, but the road gave you the chance to uncover it on your own terms. Under pressure, your spirit displayed its authentic form. Within this opening portion of the journey, I also invite you to perform a small gesture of thankfulness. If these words are landing deep in your spirit right now, take a second to like the video as a humble expression of recognition for what is being uncovered before you today. Throughout those 3 months, I observed how you managed moments of irritation. I observed how you reacted when events refused to follow the blueprint you had drawn. I observed how you engaged with others when they misread you or dismissed your contributions. During those instances, you could have selected rage or resentment. Yet over and over, you selected calmness. There were mornings when you felt as though your prayers were drifting into emptiness. You questioned whether the heavens were tuned in or whether your sacrifices were producing any difference at all. What remained invisible to you was that those precise instances formed the heart of the examination. Belief that endures through silence is the most unbreakable form of belief. Certain examinations arrive through individuals. Someone may have addressed you roughly, evaluated you without fairness, or questioned your motives. Those instances were heavy, yet your reaction revealed the silent courage that resides within your being. Rather than permitting their negativity to reshape who you are, You held firmly to empathy. At different times, the examinations arrived through waiting. Something you wished would materialize rapidly stretched on far longer than anticipated. Passages that you trusted would swing open stayed sealed for a season. You questioned whether you had stumbled or chosen the incorrect direction. But the waiting was never a dismissal. The waiting was an examination of stamina. It revealed whether you would hold your ground even when outcomes were not showing up instantly. You kept advancing even while shouldering doubt, and that determination communicated more powerfully than any spoken declaration. Now I invite you to stop for another expression of belief. Comment 7777. The purpose behind these examinations was that what is heading toward your life demands a sturdy and balanced soul. Gifts that show up before their season frequently overwhelm the person who catches them. I needed confirmation that you could shoulder what I am arranging to deliver into your possession. Countless people request promotion, yet they have not prepared themselves for the weight that accompanies it. Countless people petition for unlocked passages, yet they have not cultivated the endurance needed to walk through them with discernment. Your road during these previous 3 months demonstrated that you are absorbing those teachings at a profound level. You kept serving others even while managing your own hardships. You kept offering warmth even when your own spirit felt weary. You kept trusting that goodness carries value even when the atmosphere surrounding you occasionally appeared rough and disorienting. Those behaviors may have appeared insignificant to you, but they expose something remarkable. They expose that your spirit is anchored in something far deeper than outer conditions. Your trust was not reliant on everything flowing smoothly in your environment. When turbulence swept through your world, you refused to let it rob your internal stillness. You absorbed the weight and the disorder, but you never handed over your expectation. That silent determination is precisely what carried you successfully through every single examination that surfaced along your road. Absorb this with full attention now. Completing these examinations does not suggest your existence will instantly become free from hardship. What it means is you have demonstrated that hardship no longer holds authority to define who you are. Your fortitude has expanded beyond the size of the barriers themselves. The tolerance you cultivated during these months has equipped you for openings that call for discernment and emotional stability. Certain gifts that are drawing near to your life will call for composed reasoning. Certain openings will call for modesty and mental sharpness. The examinations you completed have been sculpting those attributes inside you layer by layer. Even the moments when you second-guessed yourself carried meaning. Those uncertainties pushed you to reach deeper and locate a more resilient layer of bravery inside your soul. Each occasion you rose back to your feet and resumed your walk, your spirit became more polished. Now the period that follows these examinations will begin showing you the reasons they were essential. Particular passages that once seemed far away will begin unlocking step by step. Particular bonds that once appeared impossible will begin developing organically. Do not hurry the unveiling of these transformations. Just as the examinations surface gently, many of the rewards will land gently as well. They will arrive in forms that feel natural, tranquil, and consistent. Your road is not concluding here. In numerous ways, it is merely launching a fresh chapter that will display the genuine intention behind everything you weathered during these previous 3 months. Many of the hardships you encountered were engineered to fortify your internal groundwork. I permitted specific pressures to surface so that your belief would not lean on ease or favorable conditions. When existence feels effortless, anyone can maintain trust. Genuine power shows itself when the trail grows uncertain and the soul still decides to have confidence. During those months, you were absorbing teachings that will benefit you for countless years ahead. Tolerance was taking shape inside you like a mighty root stretching beneath the ground. Empathy was broadening inside your soul, even while you were navigating your own anxieties. Understanding was silently maturing through the encounters you lived through. There were instances when you desired to retreat from certain circumstances because the heaviness felt unbearable. Yet something within you continued murmuring to stay composed and press onward. That inner murmur was not a product of your imagination. It was my direction, tenderly nudging you to hold steady. Certain examinations surfaced through stillness. You called out, anticipating swift responses. Yet the reply you awaited did not materialize right away. Stillness can feel puzzling, but stillness frequently holds intention. It opens room where deeper reliance starts taking root. Belief that persists even when responses are postponed becomes firm and immovable. When you maintained your trust, despite the quiet stretches, your spirit was demonstrating its durability. That silent perseverance was among the most commanding examinations you completed. Right now, take a breath to confirm your reliance openly. Comment 333. Another examination surfaced through letdown. Something you anticipated would happen may have unfolded in a way you never predicted. Initially, it may have seemed like a reversal, but that instance was molding your viewpoint in ways that will serve you later. When hopes collapse, the soul faces two directions. It can grow harsh or it can grow more discerning. You selected the direction of understanding even when your feelings felt unsettled. You gave yourself permission to experience the letdown without letting it transform into hostility or grudge holding. That capacity to remain centered exposed a ripeness that many individuals invest years attempting to build. There were additionally examinations that surfaced through unexpected generosity. Someone may have entered your world who needed motivation, tolerance, or comprehension. During those instances, you extended empathy, even though you were shouldering your own weight. Those gestures of warmth carried more significance than you perceived. They demonstrated that your soul stays receptive even during rough stretches. A caring spirit is among the most commanding qualities I search for when preparing someone for expanded responsibility. Society sometimes pushes people to shield themselves by becoming withdrawn or detached. Yet you decided to keep your soul inviting. That choice mirrored the resilience of the spirit planted inside you. There were likewise examinations involving truthfulness. Particular circumstances may have lured you to select a simpler route or to conceal reality for the sake of convenience. Instead, you selected honor. Honor may not always deliver instant compensation, but it constructs a base that cannot be quickly disrupted. The selections you made during those instances prove that your principles stay firm even when shortcuts present themselves. Throughout these 3 months, I was monitoring not only what you performed, but also the way you reasoned. Your internal conversation, the manner you addressed yourself, and the way you interpreted your obstacles all exposed meaningful truths about your nature. Even when harmful thoughts attempted to surface, you kept reaching for optimism and brightness. You declined to let shadow dominate your outlook. That silent self-regulation strengthened your thinking in extraordinary ways. Now stop once more and proclaim your conviction with assurance. Comment 5.5. Absorb this without confusion. Completing these examinations does not indicate you are flawless. It indicates your soul is prepared to evolve, to absorb knowledge, and to stay receptive to direction. Flawlessness is not what I pursue. What I search for is genuineness, modesty, and the readiness to keep pressing ahead even when the road turns demanding. Your spirit displayed that readiness repeatedly. Each obstacle you encountered resembled a gateway, exposing another dimension of your inner resilience. There were mornings when fatigue attempted to persuade you that surrender would be simpler. Yet something within you kept driving forward. That resolve was evidence that your spirit recognizes its deeper calling. You may not completely perceive where your trail is heading yet, but the course is growing more visible with every stride. The expansion that took place during these months is equipping you for openings that demand emotional resilience and measured assessment. Shortly, you will start detecting subtle changes in your surroundings. Particular blockages will start shifting aside. Particular bonds will start forming naturally in your world. These changes may seem understated initially, but they will progressively expose how everything you lived through was carving the trail ahead. The tolerance you absorbed will assist you in steering through instances when hasty reactions could create complications. The empathy you exercised will assist you in forming connections that provide enduring reinforcement. The understanding you accumulated will assist you in identifying which trails steer toward expansion and which ones steer toward pointless conflict. Even the instances when you felt unclear served a function. They instructed you on how to stop, contemplate, and listen with attention before arriving at conclusions. These teachings will shield you in ways you cannot yet picture. They will steer you away from diversions that could hinder your momentum. They will likewise assist you in recognizing authentic openings when they surface. Numerous individuals overlook significant chances because they lack the tolerance or mental sharpness to perceive them with clarity. Your road during these months has refined that consciousness within you. Your spirit is growing more receptive to the gentle direction that points toward significant advancement. This is the reason the examinations were essential. Each one contributed another dimension of resilience to your nature. Reflect on the individual you were 3 months back. You held optimism then, but you also held uncertainty regarding how much you could manage. Now you have lived through circumstances that established your durability. You uncovered that your soul can stay generous even when conditions grow tangled. You uncovered that your belief can stay unwavering even when responses require time to surface. Those discoveries carry weight because they reshape the way you view yourself. Assurance that develops through lived experience becomes robust and permanent. It does not depend on recognition from others or validation from the outer world. Instead, it springs from the silent awareness that you have already confronted obstacles and stayed upright. That assurance will assist you in stepping into the openings that are starting to take shape around your world. The coming stage of your road will involve spotting the indicators of fresh passages unlocking. Certain passages may look modest initially. A discussion may guide you toward an unanticipated opening. A fresh concept may start crystallizing inside your thoughts. A bond with someone may introduce new horizons. These instances will not present themselves as theatrical occasions. Instead, they will land softly just as the examinations landed softly. When they surface, meet them with the identical tolerance and understanding that sustained you through the previous 3 months. Have confidence that the fortitude you built will keep directing you. The identical durability that assisted you in completing those examinations will assist you in walking assuredly into the following chapter of your existence. I was orchestrating matters that your vision could not detect. Certain trails that appeared encouraging were quietly sealed because they would have guided you into heavier burdens afterward. Certain bonds started dissolving because their effect was not harmonized with the tomorrow that is taking shape for you. What seemed like defeat was frequently repositioning. Safeguarding does not always wear the appearance of ease. Occasionally, safeguarding shows up as space, postponement, or division. When particular passages refused to unlock for you, it was not because you were overlooked. It was because something superior was being held in reserve for the correct instance. During these months, I monitored how you managed bewilderment. There were stretches when you could not grasp why something concluded or why a circumstance shifted course. Yet you fought the impulse to grow harsh. Instead, you selected tolerance even when explanations were not instantly available. That silent tolerance demonstrated that your spirit places confidence in the road even when the guide is not in plain sight. Take a breath now and proclaim your confidence openly. Comment 2. There were likewise instances when you nearly stepped into circumstances that could have produced avoidable difficulty in your world. Without being conscious of it, something interrupted those instances. A discussion shifted course. An arrangement abruptly collapsed. A postponement materialized at the precise moment you required it. Those interruptions were not coincidences. They were careful boundaries arranged along your trail to prevent you from walking into unnecessary storms. Even when you felt annoyed by those interruptions, they were fulfilling a function that will grow more apparent with passing time. I have been watching over your movements more attentively than you comprehend. Certain conflicts that could have invaded your world were silently redirected before they ever arrived at your doorstep. Certain difficulties that could have multiplied were diminished before you ever perceived them. Safeguarding is not always spectacular. Frequently, it operates quietly through minor adjustments that steer your trail in a more secure course. The explanation for why you completed those examinations is because your soul stayed open to direction instead of bulldozing your own route through every circumstance. When individuals attempted to draw hostility from you, you did not reply with severity. When miscommunications surfaced, you permitted composure to guide your responses. These selections created room for safeguarding to continue enveloping you. A soul that stays composed during challenging instances becomes simpler to lead. When feelings stay balanced, understanding has space to communicate clearly inside the mind. Another significant examination involved the manner you engaged with yourself. There were instances when you felt let down by your own advancement. You may have assumed that you should be further along than where you currently stand. Rather than permitting those reflections to consume you, you kept advancing one stride at a time. That silent steadfastness exposed something commanding about your spirit. It demonstrated that your expectation is mightier than passing discouragement. Now stop once more and confirm your conviction with bravery. Comment 1010. One explanation for why these examinations extended across 3 months is because development requires duration. Resilience that materializes too hastily frequently vanishes just as hastily. Authentic transformation builds gradually through repeated selections. Every single day you confronted a fresh chance to respond with tolerance or agitation, warmth or bitterness, bravery or anxiety. Each day you leaned toward tolerance, warmth, and bravery more than you acknowledged. These selections gradually reshape the manner you perceive obstacles. Circumstances that previously felt crushing now feel more navigable because your inner resilience has broadened. Reflect on the instances when you previously felt uncertain about your capacity to persist. Now observe the ground you have already covered. You are still upright, still expanding, and still pressing ahead. That by itself exposes the resilience that dwells within your spirit. Countless individuals abandon expectation when they stumble into repeated hardships. You kept searching for brightness even through dimmer stretches. On account of this durability, your outlook is shifting. You are starting to perceive blockages as passing rather than lasting. You are starting to comprehend that obstacles frequently carry concealed teachings. These teachings will lead you in manners that reach well past these 3 months. They will shape how you respond to coming openings and coming obstacles. Shortly, you will start detecting a transformation in your atmosphere. Certain circumstances that previously felt stagnant will start progressing once more. Fresh concepts will start crystallizing inside your reflections. You may sense motivation to investigate trails that previously appeared remote or uncertain. Give attention to those sensations. They are markers that your road is entering a fresh phase. When your spirit develops greater strength, fresh horizons naturally start surfacing. The expansion you experienced has been equipping you to identify those horizons with precision. Certain ones will land through discussions that appear uncomplicated at first. Someone may voice words that ignite a concept within your thoughts. A modest opening may lead to something grander than you predicted. Other horizons may surface through quiet motivation. You may suddenly sense drive to chase something you previously hesitated to attempt. That drive is a marker that your self-belief is broadening. Self-belief does not mean assuming that everything will constantly proceed flawlessly. Authentic self-belief means placing confidence that you possess the resilience to manage whatever surfaces along the trail. The previous 3 months established that you carry that resilience. You confronted uncertainty and still decided to keep walking ahead. You confronted stretches of questioning and still permitted expectation to lead you. Those selections constructed a groundwork that will uphold the gifts now materializing around your existence. Hold this in your memory with precision. Completing these examinations does not elevate you above others. Instead, it equips you to support others who may shortly navigate through comparable difficulties. Your empathy will become a wellspring of motivation for individuals who sense they are wandering or defeated. The tolerance you cultivated will assist you in leading others through instances when they feel buried. Your road will motivate others because it illustrates that silent steadfastness can overcome many barriers. Individuals will observe the composed resilience in your spirit and acknowledge that something significant has sculpted your nature. This reach will expand naturally as you keep pressing ahead. You do not need to demand it or broadcast it loudly. Genuine resilience always displays itself through conduct rather than declarations. Keep remaining modest and tolerant as the coming stage reveals itself. The teachings you absorb during these months will keep directing your movements. Fresh passages will unlock gradually. Certain ones may surface when you least foresee them. Others will display themselves after stretches of contemplation and groundwork. Walk through those passages with the identical understanding that assisted you in completing the examinations. Stay composed, stay generous, and stay centered on the deeper intention directing your existence. The safeguarding surrounding you has not dissolved. It will keep leading your trail as long as your soul stays receptive to expansion and awareness. When examinations conclude, development starts displaying its outcomes in manners that may appear modest initially. A feeling of tranquility starts settling into your spirit. Circumstances that previously triggered nervousness start losing their grip over your reflections. You begin understanding that the storms you navigated have granted you a form of composed assurance that did not exist prior. That assurance is not boisterous or prideful. It is silent and constant, like a mighty base beneath a dwelling. It permits you to step ahead without endlessly dreading what might go sideways. During the months of examination, you were discovering how to stay grounded even when uncertainty circled you. Now that identical composure will assist you in identifying openings that previously felt concealed from your perception. When your thoughts grow calm, your perception grows sharper. Step into it with composure, with assurance, and with the deep awareness that the identical force that guided you through the examinations will keep guiding you through every passage that unlocks from this point ahead. Your tale is not concluded. In numerous ways, the most significant chapters are only now starting to be inscribed.